Okay, let's get started tonight. Let me just make sure I'm live over on Instagram. And all right, here we go. Sorry about starting late, but we are here. I found this card interesting when I pulled this for tonight, the Divine Masculine. So we're going to talk about that. Hi, Denise. Long time no see. Okay, so for anyone that is new, I will edit these down and take out all the extra conversation and stuff, post it on YouTube, and sometimes I post it on Instagram. I try to when I have time and remember. I do have dogs. If they bark, I will mute. We will stay where we're at in our meditation, come back out, and barking will be taken out when I re-edit and post. So tonight we're talking about divine masculine. I'm going to leave my glasses on for this. The divine masculine is about productivity, groundedness, presence, development. And right now there is an overabundance of divine masculinity. I should say there is an overabundance of masculine energy. And everybody has masculine and feminine energy in them. And when we use them balanced is when we are the most effective. So what we want to be able to do is take internally this divine masculine and externalize it. And we externalize it through our productivity, through our groundedness, through our being present, and taking control. And so this divine masculinity represents all the things we think about when we think about, I almost want to say sometimes when we look at the masculine in a negative way, it's controlling, it's repressive, it's all about production and money. And when we take that and actually look at those four components and balance them out, quiet them down a bit, calm them down a bit, we look at the potential promise of divine masculinity, where we utilize it for healthy production on our end, to produce results on our end, to produce financial abundance on our end. I say that because I mean to do it in a way that is healthy and balanced for us so we can go out and share that. Control, repression. So control is not something we want to lose. It's something we want to manage. How we control ourselves versus how we control, quote unquote, others. So when we take the divine masculine and look at our lives and say, where do I need to add a little bit more control? Because every day is about give and take, of letting go and controlling what needs to get done, right? And so the same applies to friendships, relationships. What do we need to control? I say that in quotes because we can never control anybody else. Even if we think we are, we're not. But how do we need to control that relationship? Meaning, what do I need to bring to that relationship to adjust it? What do I need to bring to that relationship to manage it? And when we look at it through that lens, it's no longer a painful or abusive sense of control. Repression. Where do we need to, there may be certain areas in our life or personalities that we need to repress a bit in ourselves, right? I can name a couple areas of my personality that need some, repressing. They don't need to be out and upfront all the time. So there's ways, and applying that to relationships. Where does a relationship need to be repressed? Not repressed in the traditional sense of the word, but repressed in the sense of sometimes it needs a breather. It needs time off. It needs a break. Where is that? When we can start to see the divine masculine in its purest, most balanced form, we can use it to benefit ourselves. All of those scary words that we attach to the masculine, how can you take those scary words and find the more balanced aspect of it to help serve you and then help serve others? Because the more we balance out ourselves, the more we can go out and assist others in their quest for balance. But we have to first not be afraid of that masculine side of the self, because we're always talking about the goddess, the goddess, the goddess, as we should be, for good reason. But the divine masculine is just as present, is just as important. So with everything and anything in life, there has to be that balance. And when you balance it and acknowledge it and experience it and feel it in yourself, you can balance it and feel it and experience it in others in a healthy way. We constantly say, we are both masculine and feminine. All of us, all of us, all of us are made up of both masculine and feminine. Yet the masculine can be an aspect that we run from. And when we stop running from it and instead look at it first within ourselves and see how that masculine aspect tends to be what is most accepted in a world powered by capitalism, powered by the patriarchy. We tend to diminish our divine masculine because it has shown us aspects of humankind we aren't fond of. So tonight we're going to be asked to look inward first and look at all the aspects of our divine masculine that may need quieting, that may need expressing, that may need calming, that may need coddling. And we're going to balance them out. And then we're going to start new. And we're going to get better at seeing ourselves as both masculine, feminine. Yin and yang, yes. Remove the ego. Removing the ego. Ego is the glue that holds consciousness. Ego is the glue that holds soul in body. We don't want to lose ego. But yes, I would, for tonight's conversation, I would put ego in to the divine masculine. And we don't want to lose ego. Ego is a part of who we are. It is an aspect of our confidence. And we don't want to lose that. But we do want to get better at building a more inclusive ego rather than exclusive. And ultimately, the closer we move to an inclusive ego, the more we build community, the more we bring others on our journey. Okay. 3 releasing breaths. Deep inhale through the nose, exhale, blow it out. Okay. Closing the eyes, left hand on the belly, right hand palm faces up. And just listen to the breath for a moment. I feel the need to say to somebody tonight, don't worry, we won't be sitting long in meditation. So you can allow yourself to relax and know that this will be quick, easy, and calming. So listening to the breath, the mind will wander. Allow it to wander. Do your best to not latch on, to not engage. You will engage, and that's okay. Catch it and listen to my voice and focus on your breath. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, wiggling the fingers and toes to make sure they're not clenched. And making sure the eyes are just gently closed, not squeezed tight. We let go of the forehead. We let go of the cheekbones. And the jaw drops open slightly. Just take a moment and feel the body moving through the belly, up into the chest. The arms feel heavy and weighted. The legs sink deeper into the earth. We check back in as the face feels a little bit lighter. Noticing the breath. Is it deep? Is it shallow? Is it slow? Is it moving a little quicker? And just allow yourself to breathe. Let's not make the breath too deep. Let's not force the breath. Just a gentle breath. Control. Let's look at that for tonight. Letting go of control. Letting go of the false idea that we can control others, control outcomes. What can we control? Our connection to spirit, our trust, our knowing, our intuition. Why is it that you're holding on to someone or something out of control? It's giving you a false sense of safety. What happens when we let go? I want you to take a moment and visualize yourself on a cloud. Just feel yourself on this cloud. Soft, easy, gentle. And then find your breath. I want you to feel that cloud as it moves out from underneath you, allowing you to just float. There's nothing you need to do to float. You just float. Has your breath changed? Has your mind wandered? Bring it back to the breath. Bring the mind back to my voice. And bring yourself back to the visual of you floating. You're floating and moving through the universe. There's just a gentle breeze of energy that moves you along. No one's holding you. You've got this. You're not going anywhere. You are being held, supported. You do not have to control a thing. And you are held and supported. Enjoy this moment. Just be here for about a minute. If the mind wanders, come back to the breath. If the breath grows shallow, gently deepen it, allowing yourself to be completely at ease. How does it feel when we're weightless? When we aren't controlling ourselves or anything around us? How does that feel? We have trust. We have faith. So we bring this cloud back underneath us, and we start to see ourselves coming back down onto earth, gently placing us down. And we're grounded, clear, hopeful, balanced. And feel the ground below you. Feel the floor beneath you. And bringing your attention now to your third eye, right between the eyebrows. And there's the color blue. And that color blue expands the third eye, and it shoots out into the cosmos. And as that blue shoots out into the cosmos, it expands. And as it grows bigger and thicker and wider, you start to see in it like you're watching a TV screen. You're seeing things, feeling things, hearing things. You don't need to know what that is just yet. When it's the right time, you'll know. But just allow yourself to take a minute and let that third eye expand out. Let it expand out and show you whatever it is you are ready to see, hear, or feel. Add some green in there. Add some pink in there. Whatever colors come to you, purple. Just take a minute and visualize this. Allow that third eye to expand and to show you all that is. You may not see anything tonight. It will come through in dreams, in your next meditation, while you're at work. It'll come through at many different times. Be here and breathe. Just a few moments. Okay. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. And when you're ready, just open the eyes, but don't move much. Just be still. We want to become comfortable with living with the eyes open and feeling this balance, feeling this groundedness, this lightness in the mind. Get comfortable with feeling that while we are awake. And then I'm going to pull a couple of cards for us. Benno, amazing, floating. I felt like I was pure consciousness, effortlessness, and pure energy. I felt like it was how I felt before I was born. Whoa. That's amazing. That is very possible. Of course, that's possible. That is awesome. Doesn't get much better than that. Thank you for sharing that. All right. Quick read. Any questions you guys have about your development, consciousness, feel free and ask them. I can answer them here. Otherwise, we're just going to pull a couple cards, see what it is you guys need, if anything. There's one. There's two. What do we got? I'm not going to, let's do this. Card one, card two, card one, card two. Card one, ascension. Move into your true self, rise above the darkness. The light is here. Ascension. So ascension is something that we can do physically and spiritually. Sometimes it happens without us kind of knowing, and sometimes it's a work in progress. But either way, when we are being asked to ascend, we are being asked to become aware of our consciousness outside of body. And when we are being asked to become aware of consciousness outside of body, it means you are being asked to fine-tune your compassion for yourself and for others. Compassion is the gateway to our intuition. And without compassion, we cannot get to that ascension. Is it possible? Can it be read in the cards? Yes. But if we are not ready to open up that door to compassion, the ascension will stop. Card 2, Soul Flame. Rediscover a lost part of yourself, experience relationship harmony and healing. Soul Flame can be one of two things. It can actually be another person, and it can actually be the connection to the self, as the card says. Expanding and experiencing relationship with the self or with others. I feel like for most of you watching, it's an expansiveness of the self. And for those of you watching that are actually looking for a relationship, the more the self expands, the more you expand out, and the more you will draw to you that relationship. So the first needs to happen for the soul flame. If we're looking at it as an outside person coming in, needs to happen. Either way, great cards. That's definitely happening for you. Great. Denise, how about that $10 million? Totally. Uh, pureness before we got here and having this human experience. Yes. Those are good cards. Nice work, you guys. I'll be back next week. That was excellent. If no one has any questions, then we will connect next week. Keep up your meditation practice always, and love seeing you all.